Hi guys, today I wanted to have a think about academic rejection, and in particular, how should we think through things if we are trying to publish a particular paper and we just can't get it there. So let's suppose you have written this paper, you think it's really good. Perhaps you've been through all the kind of advice that I've got here on this channel about publishing, or maybe the advice of your supervisors or mentors or whatever. You've made a list of your target journals, you've sent it to them, maybe you've got some revise and resubmit decisions, but it hasn't got through those gatekeepers and you keep sending it to journals and it keeps getting rejected. How should you think through that? Should you keep on going? Should you give up? And how do you make that decision? So I've done a whole bunch of videos on this channel about writing and publishing academic articles. You can go and have a look at this playlist here. Okay, so obviously there is no right or wrong, one size fits all answer I can give you, that's going to work for everyone. But I think there are some good pointers that we can consider in making those decisions in your own case. So let's jump into that right now. Should you have a never give up attitude or something else? Well, I think it really depends on your confidence in the paper, the kind of what you want out of this publication, and the kind of career stage that you're at. The first thing to do is look at the comments that you've got. Look back over this process. You're going to have a lot of comments from a lot of different referees. Are they kind of saying, look, you're nearly there. You're getting revise and resubmits, but it's not quite getting over the line? Well, yeah, in that case, keep going with it because, likely you're going to get there in the end. If, on the other hand, all of the comments are really saying or hinting you're a long way away, then there might be very little point in just keep bashing away with sending it out there. Maybe you have to take a step back, leave it for a bit, maybe give the paper a big rewrite, maybe even develop that idea a bit further before you think about sending it out again. One of the factors that is going to impact on that decision is where you are at your career stage. If you are at the end of your PhD and you haven't got a job lined up and you really want one, it's really important that you get that paper published soon, I guess. So you've got to keep going in that process. Unless the comments are really hinting this is miles away from publication, I would say keep going. On the other hand, if you're further on in your career and you've got a job already and you've got lots of valuable projects that you could be getting on with, maybe you don't really want to keep bashing away at this one, right? Maybe it's a case of, yeah, I could revise this paper, I could change it completely, but maybe it's just not that valuable to me. Maybe my time will be better used in working on this other project, which is ultimately going to be more important to me. Before we go any further, I just want to jump in here and say if you're enjoying this content and you want to help me out by supporting the channel, go and take a look at my Ko-Fi page, see what we've got there and see ways in which you can help me out. So, over my career, I've got this drawer full of papers, of ideas that I've written up, and at the time I thought, yeah, this is the thing that I really want to get published. Places didn't want to publish them and I've just left them there. And over time, I kind of thought, yeah, actually, it's not worth me going back to that one and trying to write it up because, time has shown that it wasn't that great an idea in the first place. And my time is now better spent in writing up this big project or whatever that I'm really excited about rather than trying to revise that thing that I worked on, 5-10 years ago, but now I'm kind of thinking, it's not that great anyway. Sometimes what happens is you reflect on an idea that you've written up for publication but couldn't get published, and it goes, yeah, it's an all right idea, but maybe it wasn't the right shape for a journal paper. So maybe it's too small an idea. And then maybe it gets included in a bigger project, right? So as part of a bigger paper or as part of a book or whatever. So, by putting it in the drawer and saying, maybe I'll come back to that, you're not saying, I'm never going to do it. In desisting with trying to get the idea published as a journal article, you're not giving up on the idea. You might resurrect it as part of another project. One thing I can definitely say there is that as you go on through your career and you publish more and more things, the initial sting of not being able to publish this idea that you've had and you've put time into, writing it up and presenting and revising and all that, it hurts when you don't get something published. It hurts when you're told this isn't good enough. But that initial sting goes away over time, okay? And you get better at taking a step back from that, being a bit more chill about it, and then putting your time, your precious time into the projects that really are going to be valuable to you. Whether that is working on other academic projects or it's just having a better work-life balance where you're not spending all of your evenings and weekends trying to revise papers that you can't get past journal referees, whatever. You get a bit better at dealing with those issues as you go throughout your career. Or at least that's how it's gone for me. So although I'm building up this bigger pile of, failed ideas, I'm also a lot less bothered about it. There is so much more to say about writing and publishing an academic journal article. I haven't really talked much here about the actual writing process, what that should look like, the kind of things you want to go and think through. So if you want to hear a bit more about that, go and take a look at this video over here. Thanks to all my Ko-Fi supporters for making this content possible. Thanks to you for watching this far. I really appreciate it, and I hope to see you back here on Attic Philosophy soon.